Here we are again today. Finally talk about the rest of the patch notes for version 3.1.1 of Dislyte coming out in the next about week or so, coming on the 23rd. I'm going to do a more skim and talk about the more important stuff, being the new characters being added and the updates to current characters, as well as maybe talking a little bit about the event. Alright, so yep, as I said earlier, the servers are going offline at 7 p.m., I'd assume, UTC, and coming back up after about 2 hours at 9. And everyone gets 100 Nexus Crystals as compensation for, ooh, no, 200 Nexus Crystals for the maintenance, and then an extra 100 after, if there's any extra hours of delay. So, first of the new Espers is going to be Gaius, or Zeus, our 5-star flow attuned. So he's going to be yellow, orange, whichever color that is. So, looks like he's going to be a fighter with a normal mode and a God King mode. So I'm guessing that's going to be our first of a character type that has a mode switch for... I'm not sure how that would be... Oh, no, here it is. Okay. Looks like he switches to God King mode off of his S3. So, let's talk about his S1 first, being Thunderstrike. So, in his normal form, deals damage to an enemy based on his attack and extends all of their debuffs and stuns. Oh, god, that's kind of good. It's really good. And then in God King Thunderstrike, deals damage to all enemies based on attack and has a chance of stealing enemy buffs. So he'd also be really good for taking buffs away from characters like, yeah, like invincibility or stuff like that off of team-based, buffs and debuffs. His second ability, being Thunder Judgment, summons lightning to attack random enemies multiple times, and it deals damage based on his attack and prioritizes attacking different targets, and deals decreasing damage to the same. Okay, so hopefully the AI, if you end up playing the game on on auto decides to prioritize using S1 or maybe S3 instead when there are less enemies on the field. So, yep, I already read that. And then okay, so it has the Ascension. So in Ascension, it summons same thing, except it adds the ability to dispel all buffs from targets and inflicts buff blocker. So it seems like a better version of what Odin's S3 is. At least I think that's her S3. And then in God King, same thing. Summons lightning to attack enemies multiple times. Deals higher damage based on his attack and prioritizes... Yep, so the same thing, really. Yeah, so this one in God King does the same thing. Okay. And his third ability, being S3, Thunderstorm, switches to God King mode and gains another turn. Gains shield based on his attack and extends his own buffs, and resets God King Judgment's cooldown. Okay, so that ability cooldown can't be affected by anything. Alright. So, and if he uses Thunderstorm and God King, it switches him back to his normal mode, gains another turn, and grants a shield to all allies based on his attack. Extends his own buffs and resets Thunder Judgment's cooldown, and reduces Thunderstorm's cooldown to 1. And looks like he has a specific... Oh, okay, so in God King mode, he gets a specific buff called King of Gods. Changes all ability effects, increases crit rate, and deals bonus damage upon attacking. In his normal mode, his passive ability increases accuracy and sears inflicted upon attacking. Passive in God mode increases crit rate when attacking, deals bonus damage, and based on the target's max health. And the damage bonus has a limit. And source can be drawn from Gold Record Player or Super Senses. Then we have Li Guang, being the Vermilion Bird, 4-star Wind Attune, so she'll be... Wait a minute. Flow Attuned, that's Flo is purple. Gaius is purple. Never mind. Ignore me. Then we have Li Wang, the Vermilion Bird, being our 4-star wind attuned. It's summonable. So she's going to be a speedy single target hider. S1, being Bright Flames, attacks an enemy multiple times based on her attack, and each hit increases her AP by a percentage. Okay, so wow, really speedy. S2, Fetching Fire, attacks one target multiple times, deals damage based on her attack, and deals bonus damage based on her speed stat. Ooh, so Set's getting competition on this one. And after Ascension, each hit steals target's buff. Upon successful stealing, extends her own buffs, triggered once per turn. An S3, Dazzling Sunfire, increases all allies' AP, attacks one target multiple times, and deals bonus damage to the target based on her speed. And then we've got our Welfare unit for the event, being the 4-star Inferno attuned Esper Nick, or Magni. He's a controller Esper with an who can extend enemy cooldowns and inflict silence. S1, Stone Fist, deals damage to one target based on attack and has a chance of inflicting attack down. S2, Landslide, attacks one target multiple times. Each hit deals damage based on his attack and has a chance of extending cooldowns. And after Ascension, looks like upon successful extending of cooldowns, reduces his own cooldowns. In S3, Skyfall, attacks all enemies based on his attack, dispels enemy shield, and silences the enemies. Each enemy's silence increases his AP by a certain percentage. And yep, you can only get this Esper through the event shop while Static Shock is running, and then he'll be added into the Echo Summons after the event has been closed for a while. New features. Improvements to the Ritual Miracle. Floor 11 through 16 have been added to Ritual. Stage difficulty and relic drops have been adjusted for a smoother gaming experience. So we're getting new stages? Awesome. Newly added floors offer first clearing rewards. In addition, floor 13 to 16 have a much greater chance of dropping 6-star relics. Formation assists have been added. Share function has been added to the Esper Gallery screen, so players can share their gallery to the chat, and can also tap other players' links to view their galleries. Okay, so that way it makes it a little easier for sharing builds with people, because now they can just look at everyone you got. Formation assist function has been added to the Esper Gallery screen. Players can select a formation type, regular formation, Sonic Miracle, Boss Formation, Ritual Miracle, and etc., and can share it to the chat. Other players can tap the link to enter the formation assist screen and recommend a formation based on the requested Espers and the required formation type. Okay, that's awesome. I really like that. Okay. Once the recommended formation is complete, it will be sent to the requester. Requesters can apply a formation recommended by other players in the development screen. In the deployment screen. They can also bulk delete like formations in the formation assist screen. Added Preparation Room, unlocks for level 60 plus players. Enter from the War Room on the left of the screen. The Preparation Room, players can make and save relic plans for Espers to use in PvP. Set plans are available for Point War, Casual Match, and Esper Arena. Players can toggle to enable and disable this function. Added Heart discs. Added heart discs for Ophelia, Thanatos, Gaius, Zeus, Sally, Sif to the DJ contest. The Esper name card frame can now be acquired after Gaius is max leveled, max ascended, and max resonated. Added solos and diary for Gaius, Tangzhuang, and Li Guang. Now what I'm most excited for is the added Esper skins for Ye Suhua and Li Ling. Looks like for Suhua's, our source is by buying the Radiant M Pass, and for Li Ling, reaching tier Legend Apex in warm-up match, and there's no other way to acquire the above skins once the event ends. Players can change their Esper's appearance in the Esper screen after acquiring the skins. So, The event, after I've read over this a little bit beforehand, the event is seeming like it's going to be closer to the last event we had with Zora for the story type of event, which is helpful because at least if they continue off of like they did with Zora, you will have relics, and it'll make it viable for people who didn't manage to pull the unit. Like on the event we had for Origami Love with Ophelia and her event, while you have to use her, you can't have any relics on her if you didn't pull her. So we've got, it looks like there are going to be 4 chapters of in the event map. Later 2 chapters unlock as days pass. And then there are resource depots on the map. Find defeat the guardians. And then completing extreme route missions will grant abundant rewards. After doing a series of missions, players can view his treasured badge and background story. And when encountering boss raids, players can greatly power up their squad with a Thunder Matrix by collecting resources, depot productions, and exploring the event map. And then players can acquire the resources needed for improving the divine power of Thunder. I don't know what that is, but sounds awesome. Then, of course, we've got our Zeus probability up event going on, which I talked a little bit about with the new changes to the pity system and super senses being added in my last video. And then, same with this. A lot of this right down here is pretty much what I talked about in the last video, if you want to go check that out. Or if you want to pause the video and read it in here, you can also do that. Then we are getting something called Warm-Up Match, which unlocks for level 30 plus, and during the event we can start matchmaking battles to go up against other players in real time from the event screen. When players play ranked match for the first time, their initial tier will be determined based on their current squad level. Participation attempts are not limited. Players can pick 5 espers for each match, and then ban 1 esper on the opponent's team, and then the match will be deployed as a 4v4. As each victory grants points, players' tier in the warm-up match will be increased. Meanwhile, failure will deduct points. Based on players' tiers, each victory grants a certain number of supply coins. Players can redeem supply coins for legendary Starrymon, random 6-star flawless relics, and other items in the tournament shop. Upon reaching tier Apex Legend, they can claim Nizha's skin, Rowdy Boy. Adjustments and optimizations. It looks like we've got some more Cube Miracle optimization. So now we can get more types of enemy formations. Miramon HP for floor 7 and 8 have been reduced. And then Intimate Miracle optimizations, Temporal Tower rewards have been adjusted. Looks like Inferno Record Fragments, Flow, and Wind Record Fragments have been changed to Sound Matrices. Daily rewards have been added to the Spatial Tower. Ooh. Players can... Okay. And it looks like after claiming the Spatial Tower, players can still claim Spatial Tower rewards in the Temporal Tower. In the Spatial Tower, if players get stuck on a certain floor, that floor's difficulty will be decreased by 3% per day up to 15. Once they complete the floor, the next floor's difficulty will return to normal. And Spatial and Temporal Tower don't consume stamina now, so even better for farming, for if you don't have a bunch of stamina boxes, or, you know, just don't have time to keep grinding out for stamina. Adjustments: ratings EX, EX+, and EX++ have been added above Triple S in Desolate Land stages. Newly added ratings have a greater chance of dropping better rewards. Quitting in the middle of the stage is regarded as a battle loss now, and 1 stamina will be deducted. Boss adjustments: ability damage for Shadow Stream's Impact Storm and Cyclone Rush have been slightly increased. Ability damage for Shadow Gale's Rolling Dust Storm and Rolling Hurricane have been increased. And ability damage for Shadowfire's Burning Dust Storm and Searing Hurricane have been increased, and some Fiery Eyes HPs have been increased. Added a passive effect to Ritual Miracle bosses, being Chronos, Apap, and Fafnir. If the battle exceeds an extremely high number of turns, the battle damage dealt by the boss will gradually increase over time. Rewind event improvements. Improvements during this event, in addition to star rating, level, and ascension phase of the player's selected Esper, their abilities can also be rewound back to their defaults, and material spent on upgrades will be rewarded. Resonances still cannot be rewound. After the update, newly registered players will get 2 attempts to reset their Espers within 30 days. For players who registered before the update, the event will unlock again on their first login after the update, lasting for 30 days. Story optimization. The difficulty for 7-12 easy mode and all chapters in hard and purgatory mode in all practice stages have been decreased. Rewards for chapter 12 easy mode, chapter 6 hard and purgatory modes have been changed from gold record 2 to 100 sound matrices. Okay. Then for pass optimizations, the reward for unlocking the Radiant M Pass have been changed from a name card to a skin. The current skin reward is Yesuhua's for 9 star songs. Unlocking the Sapphire M Pass and reaching level 10 will grant an event name card. The current M Pass expires on August 23rd. The current M Pass expires on August 23rd at 000 UTC, and the new M Pass will take effect after the update on August 23rd. Players used to get increasing M coins from quests as their activeness increased before the update. Now all chests grant 20 M coins, but the total number players can get each day remains unchanged. Before the current M Pass/R Pass expires, some players will receive an M coin/R coin bonus based on their actual number of days they can get M coins and R coins. This allows them to accumulate M coins and R coins faster to redeem rewards. In courses, the rewards for completing 3-8 hard, 9-8 hard, and story 12-8 hard have been changed from gold record to super sound matrices 50. So a single in those. Daily stamina purchase limit for the friendship shop has been changed from 2 to 3. Point war optimization. When a season is tallied, a fixed amount of points will be deducted now instead of dropping to the previous tier. Elemental records and super sound matrices have been added to bounties. Ooh. Okay, now I can get those even easier too. Price for Inferno, Wind, and Flow records in the Clove shop have been decreased from 500 points to 400. Desolate Lands related missions have been added to quests. Wave materials will now be shown in the inventory. Requirement for unlocking second page of an Esper's album have been changed from level 60 to Esper level 50. Optimize the Esper's arena to combat scenes. Optimize story stage screen, added a world map button and unbutton to enter story stages. Optimize Zora's AI, so now she has a smaller chance of casting S3 when there are fewer enemies. And after the update, we will shut down bonus loot events on Sunday, but more bonus items will be granted in future events, so you can use them whenever you want.